Well, he did it quite well. And there was definitely some rewriting of his speech over this last week with, of course, the crisis in Ukraine to make sure that he hit this moment right in terms of communicating the importance of the Ukraine crisis, not only for Ukraine itself, but also for democracy more broadly. That's been a theme of Biden's presidency really from the start. And secondly, though, to really address some of the key domestic concerns that are first and foremost on many Americans' minds, specifically inflation. So Biden really did both of those things. He came out strong in the beginning, focusing on the resolve of the Ukrainian people. And that really got a lot of bipartisan support, which, as we know, is quite rare in Congress these days, but there was certainly bipartisan support there. And it was definitely the right tone that Biden took on that issue before pivoting to domestic ones.
Okay, and then before we pivot to the domestic issues, then Julie, just a few extra points on Ukraine here. Now, Biden announcing closing U.S. airspace to Russian aircraft. That got a standing ovation in the House. Also talking about this special release of crude as well. But what would you say to comments that the U.S. has not yet gone far enough in aiding Ukraine?
Well, there's certainly going to be some criticisms there, but I think what's important to underscore is that from the beginning, Biden's first priority has been on keeping allies united in how they approach Russia in this ongoing conflict. And so a lot of the sanctions that are still on the table to be considered, especially in regards to energy and oil and gas, he needs to make sure he's doing that in concert with European allies in particular. So Biden right now is playing this right. There are definitely have other options there, but he is right to work very closely with Europeans in determining when and if to move to the next level. So I think all those we'll be hearing more about in the upcoming days and weeks.
And now on the domestic policy agenda, one of the big pieces he unveiled here was this so-called unity agenda for the nation, which contained 4 points on specifically health-related targets here regarding the opioid crisis in America and other health aims. Are they achievable within his presidency?
Well, it's interesting. This unity agenda that he unveiled is one that has a chance of getting some bipartisan support. And this is indeed a significant legislative pivot from his Build Back Better agenda, which was very much couched in liberal priorities. So what we heard yesterday, as you noted, was more of a focus on health issues that really extend to many Americans: veterans care, mental health, opioids, cancer, nursing homes, things that for Americans on both sides of the aisle matter. So he does have an opportunity there to start building some political goodwill, to start focusing more on a bipartisan, more moderate agenda than what we've seen in this past year.